This is the 2010 Mercedes E63 AMG, and this is as German as things get. Big engine up front, rear wheel drive, proper AMG. It's mad. Today I'm going to tell you all about it, its mental stats. I'm going to drive it, of course, and see what we can get out of it. This generation of the E-Class first came out in 2009 and Mercedes fanboys refer to it as the W212 model. When new, an E63 like this cost £69,000, although this example was imported from the US back in 2020 and cost $107,000 when new. From the rear, it looks like any other E-Class, but then you start to sense the tiny little things like the rear AMG lip right here, the badging of course, the AMG exhaust system, and also the very meaty rear tyres are the same width as a Porsche 911, 285mm wide, and trust me, you'll need all that rubber. From the side, it looks like any other E-Class, but then you start to sense the tiny things like these upgraded 19-inch alloys. Through the alloys you can see these huge AMG brakes, which are on the way out by the way, but we don't need to talk about that. And also, obviously, the 6.3 AMG badge, which we're going to get to in a second. The front of the car is just the most aggressive part of the car, as this vehicle had a facelift in 2013 and it got the upgraded headlights, but in my opinion, those don't really scream at you, get out of the fast lane, because there's a missile approaching you faster than you think on the German Autobahn. Also, this AMG bumper, as you see, is quite aggressive, and we can't go out without speaking about the most timeless piece of Mercedes-Benz. This is one of the last Mercedes-Benz with the bonnet badge, and, well, we miss that era now, don't we?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
we
sir.
really do.
We love old Mercs. Right, cat. From the outside of the car, it looks like a sleeper. There's only a few things that tell you what the car can actually do and what it's capable of, but we'll get to that soon. This is a very practical car. It's a full-size family sedan with a boot space of 695 litres, and also, if we pull this, it has fold-down seats for even more room. Now, let's talk about one of the main features of this AMG. This is a 6.2 litre naturally aspirated V8 producing 518 horsepower and 630 Nm of torque. This, being a 2010 car, is one of the last years with this engine, as in 2012 Mercedes decided to put a 5.5 litre turbocharged engine in the E63. Also, fun fact about an AMG, every AMG engine is hand built by one person. That's why I personally opted for this engine, as there's not many better things than naturally aspirated 500 horsepower.
Very true.
Very true. You agree with me on that?
Yeah, I do.
The interior. Being absolutely honest with you, you do feel like you just got into a 10-year-old car. The outdated entertainment system, very small screen, the outdated huge steering wheel, and also the gauge cluster is black and white. If you want to listen to music, you have to connect through this aux cable. It doesn't even have Bluetooth, which is not great for an AMG. In the back, the legroom is great, headroom amazing. The car even has a privacy blind in the back. But when you use that too often, these bad boys might come in handy.
Silky beat.
This car is linked to drive, you know, it's got some dench wheels, it makes you feel like you're driving on a cloud. You understand? You can't
Listen to that.
You can't get pissed.
The sound just doesn't get better than an AMG, does it, Tom?
No, it really doesn't.
It's so good.
It really doesn't. Is there other exhaust things you can get with this?
Yeah,
exhaust
you can
packages?
get down pipes, you can get straight pipe. It's very loud though. This car has a bunch of modes. It has Comfort, Sport, Sports Plus, and a manual. We're driving in Sports Plus right now. The steering feels sharp. It does feel a bit sharp. And now if you do the same thing on Comfort, let me switch. Bang. Feel that?
I'm chilling, I can hardly feel it.
The steering wheel is huge. I'm not used to driving cars with huge steering wheels like this and this type of power. But
would you prefer the bigger steering wheel or smaller?
Smaller feels better.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I think a bigger one's more track.
I'm on a country road, it's a dark night, heard sirens, so I turn off the car lights. I'm in the driver's seat on the far right, love I hate man, I lies. I was 50 moving, I
Hold on. Nothing behind us. Fucking launch control.
You feel it the second you floor it.
You do feel it, and what I notice as well, when it's on comfort mode, the throttle reaction is quite slow. You press the throttle, you wait for a bit. I'll show you in a second. You wait for a bit before the actual car starts going. But when you're in sports mode, it's instant.
Instant?
Instant. Like, look, pressing, going. See?
Yeah.
And if I do the same thing in comfort, hold on, wait for them to drop back a bit. Look, comfort, floor, now.
Yeah.
Feel that?
Yeah. Was that the same amount?
That was the same amount. That was full. Oh shit.
Fucking hell. Don't do pulls in front of the Fed. I said, don't do pulls
in front of the Fed.
I said,
Don't do pulls in front of the Fed. I said, don't do pulls in front of the Fed. Dun, 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 dun. That is not. I don't know. This is just. I feel like this is one of the best AMGs ever made. This engine in an E-Class is just so cool.
It's gorgeous.
I would prefer it in a C-Class, but well, it's a similar price.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that's the one you had.
Yeah. Oh, it's this road
I wish
rage.
I got to drive on that.
Road rage coming. Road rage. Look at him, he's pissed.
Fuck, he jumps out his truck and everything.
Man jumped out his truck. Alright,
Oh my
look.
God. That
shift is amazing. The shifts on this, but that's what I'm saying, on comfort mode, you don't feel that it shifts earlier. The gear shifts are sluggy, slow,
Yeah.
but well, that's what you get. Look, we're going to put it into comfort now.
Yeah.
Feel the shift? You can't feel them. It's like a DSG pretty much.
Yeah.
But in Sports Plus, the sharper, well, the car consumes more fuel. From what we've just done, we averaged 11.6 mpg. That is, well, not ideal.
That's not good. Weren't we down to 7 the other day?
We did go down to 7.
7 miles
Look,
per
downshift.
gallon.
I love driving this car. Oil temperature 113 degrees.
I'm sitting in the driver's seat, so I should be the one saying that.
Sharp. Left hand drive forever.
It's the wrong side.
What's the wrong side?
Your wheel.
The traffic's on the wrong side, not the wheel.
No, you're on the wrong side.
Should be the opposite. We should be on the right, they should be on the left. The car also has radars in the front. When it sees a danger, it just kind of screams at you.
Kind of annoying.
I don't think it would actually brake though. I don't trust it.
There's only one way to find out.
I like my front end though.
I agree.
How would you feel being the passenger?
Well, obviously it rides fucking wonderfully.
It does. I feel like the steering wheel's a bit too big though.
Maybe that's because you just avoid every pothole you see because you value your fucking what's it called?
AMG.
No.
Suspension. Yeah.
Because you value suspension so much, so I've never even felt a bump in this.
True that.
You just avoid it every time.
And the sound of that 6.2 litre V8 is actually unreal. This thing sounds so good.
Sport
Like, you
Plus.
don't need radio in this car, I'm not even joking.
Sport Plus. More like Sport Bus. Hey. That was a good one. That was a good one.
The downshift. And now we have, let's put in manual for a bit. Downshift.
just goes from 30 to 50 in the blink of an eye. Yeah, go. You can overtake. No, you can't.
I'm not going to be stupid. That gauge just dropped from half a tank to a quarter really quick.
That was like 20 quid.
Literally. Alright, let's take it out of manual mode. That's not good.
Rinsing your fuel. Well, what people don't, probably the one bad thing, specifically bad thing about this car.
It's fuel consumption.
Definitely.
It's not ideal.
Go for like a 10-minute drive.
Half
just
a
for
tank.
the sake of.
No, but that depends how you drive. When I drive normally, I average 25 mpg. But
okay, fair enough.
after that, what we just did, we averaged about 10, 9. See what the car's saying.
Like, you want to enjoy the car, you're going to pay the price.
That is a valid point.
Worth it, definitely.
It is worth it. I'm not saying it's not. But the sound this car makes,
Yeah.
it's the best thing. I don't think there is better sounding cars, but in the price range, I don't think there are.
If sex was a sound,
You can get a C63.
the C63.
Yeah, it's the same engine and like it sounds similar, but
I think the C63 sounds better.
same engines. I don't know if the exhaust is the same actually.
Straight pipe. I'm being a retard. I think straight
pipe, yeah.
Obviously,
But that's way too loud.
but not even though. Why?
It is bare loud.
I know it's bare loud, but why? Why is that too loud?
Because you have no catalytic converters, just a pipe going straight from your fucking
No, but
manifold.
what makes it too loud? Why?
There's no silencers in the exhaust.
No, I'm not saying what actually makes it loud. Like,
Oh.
What would you describe as too loud?
You can't drive above 3,000 RPM without your head being blown off. That's too loud.
Just close the windows.
So, overall thoughts of driving this car?
Overall,
it's good.
Driving it, 10-10.
I wouldn't say 10-10 because, well, this the actual gearbox, it's a bit slow. Not gonna lie. I mean, it is quite an older car, so it's understandable.
Yeah.
Don't jam up music. In a bit. In a bit. So, the gearbox is a bit slow. The steering wheel was huge in my opinion. I think the facelift one got a better one. It has a flat bottom. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, but I love this car. I actually love this car. And also, this car has 92,000 miles and it performs great, doesn't leak oil anywhere. It doesn't take oil. It's great. I don't know. These engines are really good. Apparently they have issues with the head bolts.
Head bolts being?
The thing that holds the actual block together pretty much. Or not block it, the engine head onto the, it's basically like a fat bolt that holds the engine together.
Yeah.
They have issues with those. These, I don't think they've been replaced, and this is the pre-facelift car, so
Quite old.
These do have issues. This engine is under the facelift of the engine code,
Yeah.
so they do have these issues. These doesn't take any oil. The only thing it takes is petrol, but that's kind of self-explanatory to be fair.
No,
So yeah, if you're looking into buying one of these cars, I would recommend it. Just make sure it doesn't have any of the common problems, but the actual driving experience of this car is amazing. The sound, it's mainly the sound, and you're not waiting for the turbos. It's naturally aspirated, instant power, instant torque. It's amazing.
You don't go vroom.
That's a negative.
That's the
Stay
only-
tuned.
Yeah.
E46 2JZ coming soon. Right, we can do a tiny pull. Listen to this. Sounds so good. I don't think there are words to describe that sound.
That was like teleportation, you know.
Right now, I'm using it as a daily driver. Very happy. Haven't had a problem. Owned the car for over a year. Not a single light ever came on. Oh well, the tyre pressure light came on once, but we don't need to talk about that. It wasn't an actual problem. It was that I actually got a flat tyre. But yeah. Thanks for watching. More videos coming soon. This is first for us, like a review type. Tell us what you think about it.
What we could do better, definitely.
Yeah. tell us where we can improve, because
Little
it's
T
not
and Big
ideal.
G are far from perfect. I'll tell you that
It's the
much.
first time we ever done something like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, just tell us what you like about it. Tell us what you think we should improve at in the comments.
Like, imagine you go out for a drive with your mate and say, "Oh, let's do a car review," like the first time ever.
Yeah.
It's not going to be simple. So obviously,
Yeah, we did put quite a bit of work into
we
this.
put a lot of effort into it.
We
but
did.
It's going to take practice, just like
It is.
anything
That's what we're
else.
doing. So stay tuned. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and well, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.